I always thank God he gave us Fashola for 8 years. Politically, people attribute all these things to that Tinubu did this and Tinubu did that. It's because the Fashola years have covered up for those bad 8 years. Prior, when Tinubu couldn't even control the disposition of refuse. People have very short memories. Tinubu, when he became governor, he was able to get people give him, there was a lot of enthusiasm. People like my good friend, Patu Tommy, were more than willing to throw all kinds of documents at him he could work with. But he spent most of his time politicking. And I don't think he has what it takes and the presence of mind to sit down and govern. I don't think he has it. It's not to take anything from me. I don't have it. So I'm not insulting him or anything. I don't have it because I'm not that kind of person. Fashola is one of the most fantastic guys that have been in governance. He has a very strong mind. He doesn't waver. He doesn't quaver. I don't believe he panders towards anybody liking him or not. He just gets the work done and gets it done quite right. And so I think we give him a lot of credit for that. I've heard people say that, he hates. I don't hate President, but why would I hate him? In fact, sometimes I admire him for getting away with the things that he does. I wish I had that, but I'm not somebody I'm always on the straight and narrow. And I don't, his methods are particular, but I admire him for his, and look, he got where he wanted. But when I talk about capability, I want to say this I don't want to be nasty or anything, but who would ever take over a whole country? And the minute he signs, he makes a policy statement. Nobody well-trained does that. I'm from the Unilever School of Management. I worked in Lever Brothers for a short time, but within that short time, I know how to get things properly done. If you know what goes into an ordinary dinner in Unilever, my God, who do you think would? That for me is a character flaw. And the first day, as soon as you sign, says subsidy is over, like that. Even if you had done your homework, what about the optics? So that for me, and before the election, I had said in definite terms that this man doesn't have the capability and doesn't have the mindset. That phrase, Emilokon, also for me is a bad mindset for somebody who wants to lead a country. Not to talk of the fact that we heard it on video when he said, grab it, whatever, and run away with it. Those are not the morals I grew up on. They are not. I've been trained to be what you would call a gentleman, or what the Yorubas would call Omoluabi. And Omoluabi does not grab what belongs to you. When I was a youngster, when we go for parties, when they say at a party, who hasn't eaten? You dare not put up your hands because you would have eaten at home. So that element of satisfaction is built into you. You don't grab something and run away with it. When you look at all these mindsets, I said to myself, this is not the kind of mind that should be leading this country. And see where it has gotten us.
One thing about Bola Ahmed Tinubu government is that it was predicted from the beginning of time that it was going to be a colossal failure. Yes, everything surrounding Bola Ahmed Tinubu indicated that he will not make a good president for Nigeria. He will not be a true leader. The same way it was predicted about President Muhammadu Buhari is the same way it was predicted about Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Jimmy Dusu is a Yoruba man and he knows Bola Ahmed Tinubu in and out. He was one of those that experienced Bola Ahmed Tinubu government, and he is telling you that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is not who you all thought he was. What Bola Ahmed Tinubu has going for him is fake PRO, fake propaganda about him. I laugh when many people were saying that Bola Ahmed Tinubu built Lagos, that it was during his tenure that Lagos got to where Lagos is today. That is absolutely false. Now, let me give you an instance that shows that Bola Ahmed Tinubu did absolutely nothing in Lagos. Bola Ahmed Tinubu was the president 1999 to 2007. Now, during that period, that was when Nigeria transitioned from the military rule to the democracy, and it was during Obasanjo regime. During Obasanjo regime, it was when Nigeria experienced economic boom. It was a period of economic revitalization, and that was when companies were springing forth from every part of the country. There were a lot of jobs being created in Nigeria. Many Nigerian youths secured jobs immediately they left school. How did Tinubu benefit from all of this? As a governor in Lagos, Lagos is one of the functional states that was created by the colonial masters. Everything you want for a modern state is in Lagos. The seaport, modern international airport, all of them were all domiciled in Lagos. And most of these companies that were springing forth decided to locate their headquarters in Lagos. Even most of the oil companies in Nigeria took their headquarters to Lagos. This was because Lagos was already a conducive state for business. It has nothing to do with Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It has nothing to do with his ingenuity. Having these companies coming into Lagos is bringing more money into Lagos. And Bola Ahmed Tinubu, being a tax master that he is, taxed most of these companies and took a lot of money from them. With these businesses and companies scattered all over Lagos, people were trooping into Lagos in search of a greener pasture. Most of the young school graduates were also going to Lagos to seek for jobs. And they were getting the jobs because of the companies that were littered all over Lagos. It has nothing to do with Bola Ahmed Tinubu, but because of the economic revitalization of President Olusegun Obasanjo. During Olusegun Obasanjo regime, it was just like a rebirth of Nigeria. Bola Ahmed Tinubu did nothing. All Bola Ahmed Tinubu did was to use the money that he has taxed away from these companies to buy food soldiers, to make men all over Southwest. These were the men he was preparing for his eventual presidency. During the 2023 presidential election, one senator that was a PDP senator came out in defense of Bola Ahmed Tinubu when Nigerians were saying they will not vote for Bola Ahmed Tinubu because of the EndSARS protest. He said something that when Tinubu was a governor in Lagos State, he received a parcel of land and 10 million naira from Bola Ahmed Tinubu, even though he was a PDP senator. Can you now understand the level Bola Ahmed Tinubu was going to buy off men? That incident happened when Bola Ahmed Tinubu was the governor between 1999 to 2007, and that same man came in 2023 to speak in favor of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It was all these people that Bola Ahmed Tinubu bought off that were carrying out the fake PRO for him that he built Lagos. Bola Ahmed Tinubu did not build Lagos. Alright, he has been given charge to take over as president of Nigeria. Bola Ahmed Tinubu did not have that charisma, the expertise, the leadership qualities to lead a multi-complex nation like Nigeria. Look at all of his policies so far. They look so amateur. His policies are just try and error. He does not even have a vision. Bola Ahmed Tinubu do not have a starting point and an ending point. All he wants to do is to roll out any policies. If it works, it works. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. He does not even carry out any assessment of his policies to look at the optics, to know how far and how well his policies can go, to know the impact of these policies on the life of the people. Tell me one sustainable policies of Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Is it the fuel subsidy removal? The fuel subsidy removal is one of the worst policy any government can ever do. I am not saying that fuel subsidy removal is bad, because most other presidential candidates, they equally said that they were going to remove the fuel subsidies, but they had a plan. For instance, Mr. Peter Obi said that he is going to remove the fuel subsidy in batches. I will not take it away, because this is what has been sustaining the people. When you are removing everything, then you need to have a contingency plan in place in order to mitigate the suffering and the plight the people are going to experience with the removal of the fuel subsidy. He said, I will remove 50% of it, and whatever money that will be recovered from the removal of fuel subsidies will be invested in key critical infrastructure. Mr. P.W. also highlighted the issue of oil theft in our oil industry. I will put an end to that oil theft. You can see the planning of Mr. Peter Obi, and you can see how he intends to carry out with the removal of oil subsidy. But Ahmed Tinubu did not have any vision regarding the oil subsidy. All he says was oil subsidy is gone, and immediately the untold hardship that brought on Nigerians are unbearable. That is what Dimijuso is saying. That is not the kind of person that Nigeria needs at this critical period in our history. Again, Tinubu is not a people-centric president. He is not a leader that is empathetic towards the plight of the people. When you go to Lagos during Bola Ahmed Tinubu regime, like I said earlier, Bola Ahmed Tinubu was just concerned about building men. He wasn't even concerned about the average Lagosians, the average people living in Lagos. He wasn't even concerned about their welfare, about their life. What makes a leader to stand out is when that leader is empathetic. It's when that leader is moved towards the plight of the people. Look at everything that is happening in the country. Does it really show that Bola Ahmed Tinubu cares about the plight and sufferings of Nigerians? He absolutely do not care. He is even preparing and talking more about 2027 general election than he is talking about the problem in Nigeria. The people of Plateau and Benue State have experienced massacre in high proportion. Bola Ahmed Tinubu has never paid a visit to them. He has never gone there to commiserate with them, to have a first-hand information about the damages that were done in those states. But rather, he was in Europe, he was in France resting. And he was even bold enough to tell everyone that he can govern Nigeria from Europe. What an insolence. A leader that is empathetic, a leader that cares about the people would have gone to Benue and Plateau State to assess the situation, to commiserate with the people and charge the security agencies to bring the people behind that evil act to book. Till date, no one has been arrested for that terrorism that was committed in Benue and Plateau State. But yeah, all the president is talking about is 2027 presidential election. The president is busy playing politics, having all the southern governors to decamp and support his re-election. That is all he cares about. His opponent, Mr. Peter Obi, who was deemed to have lost the election, has toured and visited more states in this country than the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. There are IDP camps scattered all over the country. Tell me why Nigeria should have an IDP camp. We are not at war, but we have IDP camps scattered all over the country. The president has never for once visited any of these IDP camps. You can never be said to be a true leader when you neglect the plight of the poor. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video.